Good morning, everyone. It's Ramona from the Healing Grapevine, and I've got this week's health hazard report to talk about what are three very popular and well-known words around the world. Made in China. Now, I'm proposing, as many of you probably already understand, that made in China is a very toxic and health hazard label. The New York Times had nicknamed China the toxic pipeline because of the things like tainted medicines that move along the black market and wind up in the exports of vitamins and medicines from China. There's the toxic toothpaste, there's children's toys, tainted seafood, and rice. In 2007, antifreeze was discovered in the toothpaste coming out of China, sold in 36 countries around the world. And the Chinese response to this was apparently, well, as we understand it, you're not supposed to swallow toothpaste. Of course, that makes it perfectly fine to put antifreeze in my toothpaste then. In 2010, China created a limit a limit of harmful substances allowed in the coating of children's toys. China is the #1 plastic exporter in the world, and many of the coatings in these toys are having heavy metal levels in them, especially lead. And so they created a regulation that would limit the concentration of lead in toys to 600 parts per million. Now, in the U.S., it's 90 parts per million, but on this chart right here, it says lead is a well-known neurotoxicant with no safe level of exposure. 26% of the toys out of China apparently had tested high with lead. 10% were in the above the regulatory limit in China, which was 600 parts per million. All right, let's move on to food safety. Now, this article, once again from the New York Times, really was discussing more of the foods within the country, but seafood and rice, I mean, there's a ton of stuff exported out of China. It winds up in our food chain. Apparently, the middle class in China will pay a premium, high cost for the safety of American food products, which kind of makes me cough. But anyway, and while apparently, well, we will search for the bigger bargain and buy food made from China and other countries. Rat meat sold as lamb, rice tainted with cadmium. Okay. Big breath. What's going on in the insides there, again, with the pollution level in China is the fact that these industrial corporations in China, in 2010, they caused 3 toxic spills within just a few weeks' time. Each one of the toxic spills was located right on waterways. These waterways, of course, are then polluting, major pollution, crude oil, 7,000 barrels of chemicals from two chemical plants dumped into the river, explosions in an oil depot. We heard about that one. And so all of this is dumping into their waterways. Their waterways turn around, become part of their own food processing, food growing industrial complex, and then we're buying it and eating it by the droves. All right, so back to our own safety issues and what we can do, because if you're sliding down a fast slope of poor health, you got to know what to do about it. Visit the How to Recover Now page and start choosing products that are made in the U.S. wherever you can. Here are a list of a lot of products that were very, very helpful. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. To my recovery, as you all would know, Far Infrared is just at the top of the list because of its ability to flush and circulate. Oxygen and the oxygen bath therapies and essential oils, all of these products just amazing. This whole list here, I go into all the things we could be including into our food in order to help us recover. And remember that each conscious choice we make to improve our diet and health will help us succeed. I did it, and you can too. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's possible. Have yourself a wonderful day. From the Healing Grapevine.